you. Shamirrah Hill is a creativity specialist, performing artist, author, director, and arts educator with over 25 years of experience in the arts. She has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Howard University, shout out to HU, and a master's degree in educational theater from New York University. During her time in New York, Shamirrah founded a Christian theater company by the name of True Stages and hosted a number of performance-based events for artists and art supporters in New York City. She is also the founder of Artists for Justice, a New York City-based arts activism group that was developed to advise the Black Lives Matter movement through performance protest. In addition to being a best-selling children's book author, Shamirrah is co-founder of DG Self-Publishing, a company that provides illustrations and start-to-finish support for self-publishing children's book authors. She also developed the Youth Writers Academy to help children ages 9 and up write their own books and become published authors. Over the years, Shamirrah has developed several performing arts courses and programs in various settings. She has worked as a full-time teacher for 5 years, teaching theater, dance, movement, and step team to inner-city high school students in Newark, New Jersey. Sorry, I hate that word. And to 2nd to 8th grade students in Arizona. She has founded the Black Youth Theater Program to help children in Arizona develop self-love, confidence, and creativity. Shamirrah has performed throughout the country as an actress, dancer, mime, and spoken word artist, and has trained several actors, dancers, mimes, steppers, and poets of various ages through one-on-one coaching, group sessions, workshops, after-school programs, and semester-long courses. She is also a playwright with work that has been produced and performed in Washington, D.C. and New York City for sold-out audiences. Shamirrah specializes in using performing arts courses to get students out of their comfort zones, increase self-confidence, and promote growth and positive risk-taking in all aspects of life. She also specializes in using the performing arts to communicate spiritually and inspirational messages of faith, healing, and freedom. Her captivating and thought-provoking spoken word performances are known to wow people into a loss of words and bring people to tears. Shamirrah has a strong love for God, who she believes is the source of her creativity. She is thankful for all the opportunities she received to inspire others to live a life of creativity, love, boldness, and freedom. So if you will join me in welcoming Shamirrah Hill to the stage, thank you.
How many of you are in an arts class now or remember being in an arts class? By show of hands. Awesome. How many of you have never been in an arts class? Okay, a few of you. If right now I was to ask you to come up on stage by yourself and perform an improvised interpretive dance with no practice in advance, how many of you would be terrified to do that? Understandable. A few years ago, well, several years ago, I would have been terrified to do that as well, but thanks to the influence of all of my performing arts teachers throughout the years who have been deeply inspirational for me, I've been liberated. Because of my involvement in the arts, I've overcome shyness and perfectionism and stagnation, and I've been molded into a person that is an innovative thinker, a more equipped leader, a more confident woman, and someone who has the courage and the boldness to create the life that I want for myself. Not only has the arts molded my character, but the arts have served as a therapeutic medium for me. For instance, maybe I was going through a difficult time and something was upsetting to me and I was confused as to why God would even allow something like this to happen. Just saying it plainly might not quite do it justice. I might need to tap into my art form, that language of the soul, and express it differently. I might express it like confusion arises as the consciousness becomes amiss. Times of bliss are just a mist and they don't exist in my suffering. I am nothing, void of feeling but full of passion, rage, reactions, heart retractions, void of hope but full of fury. I am weary, void of truth but full of questions. These oppressions and depressions, these suggestions of forsakenness, taunt me in my nakedness, spirit toiling to arise above the stifling of the cries in my being. Am I dreaming? All I'm seeing is rain. And I get it out like that. That's my art form, spoken word, performance poetry. Sometimes I feel something so deeply that words just don't do it justice, so I dance it out. Maybe I feel a message that moves me so much that I want to convey it to someone else and I want to give it even more life, so I dance. I use my body as a creative instrument, my movement, my facial expressions, and I don't need to use words. People understand me. They hear what I'm saying with my soul. And words aren't even necessary, just like I can see a dancer. And as they're moving and their soul is in sync with their body, I can hear what they're saying with their movement, whether it's pain or hope or joy. I hear what their soul is saying and I understand. It's that soul-to-soul connection. And I'm not the only one who experiences art in this way. I'm not the only one who's been shaped, molded, and deeply moved by the arts. The arts are so powerful and so important, yet when we look at our school system and budget cuts come around, it's funny how the arts always seem to be the first program to go, as if arts are just optional and dispensable and not really meant to be taken seriously. This couldn't be further from the truth. And so I'm here to share with you 5 important ways that the performing arts influence our youth for the better, 5 benefits, 5 things that are provided by the arts. Number 1, the arts provide a healthy, creative outlet of expression for the soul. We're not robots. We're not meant to just calculate math problems and follow commands and execute repetitive tasks. That's not how we're designed. We have souls. We have real feelings. We fear, we worry, we hope, we dream, we desire, we grieve. Our youth experience all these things and they need a creative outlet to express those things in a healthy way. Because if they don't have that, then that's when they may express it in a way that's unproductive or disruptive or unhealthy, and it just brings more problems into their lives. But when you give them a creative, healthy outlet through the arts, they're able to find that release, and it's therapeutic for them. One of the reasons my arts classes have been so valuable for my high school students is when they come into my classroom, it's a place where they can take off their shoes and breathe and release stress and worry. They can be themselves and process the things that they're experiencing in their lives. They're not just learning acting techniques, they're learning how to connect with each other in a positive way. They're learning how to release any heaviness that they've been carrying that might interfere with those positive connections, that might interfere with them being their best creative selves. It's a healing space. And that's the type of environment that performing arts classes provide. Number 2, the arts promote social development. I've taught a lot of theater classes, and one thing I've noticed is that when students get together to work on a play or a performance of any kind, they learn how to communicate better with each other. They learn how to overcome obstacles together and articulate their thoughts and ideas and hear other people's ideas and accept them without judgment. And it's an amazing thing that happens because they're learning together and growing and taking these positive risks and making themselves vulnerable and encouraging and supporting each other through the process, and a special bond is formed. They develop friendships with their peers that they normally would not have even spoken to, but being in this creative process together, something magical happens and they become like family. I remember in 2015 when I was teaching theater to high school students in the inner city in Newark, New Jersey. And this one day, my day was heavy because I had to tell my students that I'd be moving to Arizona and I'd no longer be able to continue being their theater teacher. My students came into the classroom that day. They were joyful and excited the way they usually are when they come into my class. And I had them sit with me in a circle on the floor, which is what we did when it was time to discuss things or reflect on things. And I gave them the news. I looked around the circle at their faces and I saw shock, disbelief, anger, and tears. A lot of my students, just growing up in the inner city, they had these hard shells that they would keep to protect themselves. But at that moment, those hard shells, they were gone out the window as the responses started pouring out. Don't go. It's not going to be the same without you. You're my favorite teacher. This is my favorite class. I love you. I cried with them because I was just so moved by this outpouring of love, even from the students who on the first day of class told me that they hate acting and they did not want to be in my class. They wanted nothing to do with it. But here they are transformed. And that's how I knew that I was doing what I was supposed to in that space. I wasn't just giving them instruction. I was giving them love and light and inspiration and helping them to discover gifts and talents and abilities inside themselves that they never knew they possessed or even could possess. That's what happens in performing arts classes. Number 3, involvement in the performing arts promotes character development. When students are faced with the challenges involved in the creative process and they overcome these challenges, it really builds their character. A lot of students are uncomfortable with themselves, they have stage fright, but when they press through that fear, they press through those insecurities, they get on that stage and they do it anyway, that develops courage, real courage. When they have to learn dance choreography that's difficult for them, or memorize lines, or master new skills, and it's hard, but they press through until they get it, that develops perseverance, determination, and grit. When they have to teach routines to their peers, they develop leadership skills. They learn how to convey and communicate their vision and lead by example. When they have to create their own characters and create their own acting scenes, they learn how to be innovative thinkers. And that innovative thinking is the same type of innovative thinking that they'll need when they go out in the world and create business ideas and become entrepreneurs. The same innovative thinking that will help them when life gives them unexpected situations and they use that innovative mindset to come up with creative solutions to their problems. They learn how to trust their own ideas and find answers within themselves instead of needing someone to hold their hand every step of the way and give them all the answers. Instead of looking to others for validation all the time. I mean, you just don't learn this stuff in math class. When they accomplish their creative goals and they receive a round of applause from their peers, their families, their teachers, that does wonders for their self-esteem and their self-confidence. I remember when I was a child and I took dance class, it was my dance class that I learned, in my dance class, I learned how to present myself with confidence. Even if I was scared and didn't feel confident at all, I learned how to look like you are, act like you are. And eventually it became true. Eventually I did become confident, and I carried that confidence with me off stage and out into the world. Just like so many other students do. They take that courage, that confidence, that grit, that innovative thinking, that resourcefulness. They take all those traits that are developed in the arts class and take them out into their lives. It becomes a part of who they are. The performing arts experience, it just has this unique way of molding you into a bold, courageous, resourceful, innovative, self-affirming masterpiece of a human being. That's what happens in arts classes. Number 4, involvement in the arts produces improved academic performance in other classes, such as math, English, reading, writing, social studies. And that's because in the arts class, students go through an artistic process that develops a number of skills in them. Spatial awareness, memorization, emotional intelligence, organizational skills, so many different things that are developed that help them to excel in other areas of life. Number 5, involvement in the arts opens up career opportunities for students. One of my favorite quotes is, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its entire life believing it is stupid." We're not all meant to climb trees. We're not all meant to be doctors or engineers or secretaries. Some of us are meant to be performers. Some of us are meant to be comedians or musicians or actors or singers or dancers. And we owe it to our youth to give them the opportunity to find who they're meant to be and what area they thrive in, instead of forcing them into a mold and pressuring them to be someone who they were never meant to be. If we truly want our youth to receive the best education possible, the arts has to be incorporated into their educational experience for the sake of their well-being, their development as a person, and the success of their future. We can't just nourish their minds. Our youth need holistic education. Holistic education that nourishes the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. I've gone over 5 different ways that the arts benefit us. Number 1, it provides a healthy and artistic outlet of expression for the soul. 2, social development. 3, character development. 4, improved academic performances and other classes. And 5, career opportunities. So with all of this awareness of all the benefits of the arts, how could we deprive them of that? To not allow them to have that opportunity is an act of negligence. It's an act of negligence, and it does them it's a huge disservice to our youth. Of course, we can teach them math, we can teach them science, we can teach them English, we can teach them social studies, and they'll survive. But if we involve them in the arts, they will thrive. Thank you. With you. If anyone would like to learn more about me and the different professional services that I offer, feel free to visit my website, shamirrahhill.com, spelled just like my name, Shamirrah Hill, which you can find in your program. If you would, especially if you're interested in becoming a published author, which is my primary focus right now, is helping other people become published authors. You can also access my book, The Shy Monster, which is an amazing resource for helping children overcome fear and become more confident. The story is about a girl who's really shy, but through her involvement in the arts, she's able to overcome that. And the book includes affirmations and resources for parents, so I highly recommend that you purchase that. If you don't want to purchase it online and if you want to avoid the shipping and handling, you can actually get a copy from me today. I do have some copies of the English version, the Spanish version, and the coloring book version, so you can actually go home with your copies in hand today if you like. If you want to just come up to me and say hi, give me some positive energy, or get my business cards, you can take my contact information with you, please do. Again, it's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much for your time, and have an awesome afternoon.